Hello everyone, it's Adam here. We're going to be doing the 10,000 mile service on Heather's Sportwagen. This is the SEL trim with the 1.8T non-TDI, of course, 2016 model year. She bought it at the dealer with 6,000 miles and she's already put 10,000 on it. And we're just going to do this a little bit earlier than the 20, obviously. So today we're going to be installing, flushing the oil, 5W40. I'll do a seafoam treatment with the oil filter. Housing or oil filter here, also a cabin air filter if she needs it, as well as the stock air filter. And I'm going to be using the Mityvac oil extractor because it's really easy. I don't have to put the thing on, I don't have to use jack stands, I don't have to use ramps, just basically open the hood and go for it. So let's get this done. Well, before we do this, I'm going to start with doing the oil first. We have to warm the engine up to almost operating temperature to get the oil flowing first. Let's verify the oil, the mileage for Carfax. If you guys aren't using my Carfax right now, you should definitely use it because you can upload receipts, you can add everything you do yourself. So if you're a DIY person, you can basically maintain your car and have all the records up to date for that. All right, let's see where we're at for oil temp. There we go. We're at 140. She got home a few minutes ago, so we're still good to do this. Obviously 200 is a little extreme, but 140 is fine. So we've already pulled this guy out, and I gotta use two hands for this, so I'll be back in a second. Okay, we have oil evacuator all the way in. You're gonna push it all the way to the bottom till you really can't get down any more. You can work it around, try to angle it a little bit to get it down even further. Then we're going to open this guy up here to eliminate any pressure. Flip this nozzle on, you'll see evacuate. Oh, we're on dispense right now. We want to put it to evacuate, so push it down. There we go. That is locked. Notice shift valve to relief pressure or vacuum. Okay, don't see anything else here, so let's get to pumping. There it goes, see? It'll start coming out pretty quickly now. All right, as you can see now, we have some oil that's starting to come out now. There are some indicators on the side here for 4 liter and 6 liter. We should get somewhere around here. So now that's going, let's go ahead and get the air box removed and replace this air filter if it needs it. We have to check first. So it's been a couple of minutes and we still have oil flowing here. We're going to use a T25 to get this air box off. So just unscrew. There's a couple on the back. There's one on the back too. So. All right, so to unscrew the air box in the 1.8T, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 T25s, and the guy just lifts right up. And yeah, definitely in need of a replacement. Pretty dirty. Let's go and get this guy out. Look at it side by side with the new one. Here is the old and the new filter side by side. VW recommends every 10,000 miles. I wouldn't recommend going any longer than that, but some people try to. And look at these blades, and it's just a mess in there. So this thing is $20 for the air filter from shop.app.com, and I can't think of any reason why you wouldn't do this. So just drop it right in like this. Open the air box. Actually, check for any, while you're in here, check for any fragments in there. Clean those out with like a fiber cloth. Let's actually do that real quick. Okay, air filter's in. Nice tight fit there. Just get this right back in place. Flush on all sides. Get this aligned with the holes there. There we go. Now we screw it back in. We're still draining over here, so we're gonna go ahead and do the oil filter. It's pretty much drained to a point where I can safely do the oil filter. So you've got the oil filter and the O-ring. They both come in the same box. This is the part number. Shop.app sells a socket that goes over the this is your oil filter housing right there. They sell a thing that goes over that makes it easy to unscrew. I generally just use a very light pair of vice grips to do it, so totally up to you, but I've already loosened it up. Now as you're undoing this, oil may start to come out the sides. Just have your paper towels or shop towels handy, and I will start recording after I've got the housing off. So it looks like the The oil filter isn't able to come out without the engine cover coming off, but it comes right off. Just remove, so here's the O-ring at the very bottom here. Oil filters up here, just remove both. And then let's put the new, before you put this O-ring back on, you want to get a little bit of fresh oil on your finger and just rub it all over the O-ring before you put it back on this. Okay, the thing's ready to go. We're going to put it back here. The torque setting for this is 25 nanometers. Tight squeeze. You see the engine hose there? Tight squeeze in here. Hand tighten it until you really can't hand tighten anymore, and then we'll torque it up. I do actually have a torque wrench that I'll use for 25 nanometers. This is plastic housing, and there is an aftermarket aluminum option you can buy. So when you're screwing it in, you know, hand tighten it at the edge. Don't hand tighten it down here. If you squeeze it, there's a possibility of it cracking. It's low, but it's a possibility. So just be really careful with this. Okay, I gotta use 2 hands now. We fill up the oil because there's a possibility of it spilling. Always have your shop towels handy. So we're gonna remove this guy again. If you haven't done it already, put it aside. I will add that this is the second time now that I've shimmied this around and the oil flow has started again. So when the oil stops flowing, you'll start seeing air bubbles form over here where this bend is. Shimmy it, move this tube up and down a couple times, and you may see the oil start flowing again. If you do, stop where you are, let it finish again. When you start seeing air bubbles, move it again. Once you see that no oil flows, no matter where you shimmy it, deep or shallow, then you know you're done. So you see here, we actually are moving past the 5-liter mark. So we ended up adding the full amount, and the dipstick just shows right at the full line. So it just ended up, well, I added 5 liters instead of 6, and it shows the full line, which means there was a liter left in there. So I guess word of advice, just make sure you're on completely level ground, and then you'll have a much better time. But we you know, did over 90% of the oil was changed. So the next interval is 20,000 miles. So in 4,000 miles, we're changing it again. So it's not too long, but just keep that in mind whenever you're doing the fluid excavator, or just get ramps and drain it. Okay, so I'm gonna add some seafoam to the fuel, which I know doesn't do much because this is a turbocharged engine, but I had it left over from last year. Check your coolant levels, make sure you're not above the minimum level. It's G13 is the coolant you need. It looks good here. Check the brakes, do all that kind of stuff. We're done with everything, so we're gonna go ahead and put some wiper fluid in and then reset the service interval on the computer. All right, so check dipstick, check coolant, check pads, added washer fluid, changed the air filter. I also checked the cabin air filter, and that was fine, so no need to replace it this change. Everything looks good. Let's go reset the service interval reminder. Okay, so keys in my pocket. We're gonna keep your foot off the brake. We're gonna push this button while we're holding the 00 button, and when it appears, we're gonna push this button twice. So I'm gonna do this without stopping the video here. So hold down 00, push this, and then press it twice. Service was reset. Looks like we're good. So I'll start it all the way up. And then cycle through and look for the service warning. We got nothing. Car. Setup. Service. And it'll say inspection in 300 miles or 10,100 miles left. So basically this shows you everything was inspected. So we are done. So this was the I'd recommend you go and take a test drive after this is over with, but you should be just fine. Nothing really serious about a 10,000 mile service. Always check your owner's manual before you do these services and make sure you're covering everything that would be done at the dealership before you reset. If there's something beyond your capacity, do the oil change at home, then take it to a dealer and have them do the rest of the inspection. That's always a good idea as well. But I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.